Hello, my name is Hassan Sorrells, and this is the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast shorts. There's no co-host on these shorts episodes. These are now around 2 to 4 minute, sometimes as long as 6 to 10 minute observations, ideas, thoughts, or rants about the literature, philosophy, psychology, and even the theology of leadership. Because listening to me talk about leadership for now around 2 to 4 minutes is still better than reading and trying to understand yet another business book. Even that business book your coworker won't stop raving about because it quote-unquote changed their life, but you can't see any difference in their leadership behavior. So how good could that author be? If the people who are following you can't think through an argument, question instruction, or experience moral cowardice when you direct them to do something that might be against their own best interests, you might indeed be a tyrant. One of the problems with that idea is that very few tyrannical leaders actually believe they're tyrants. Very often they believe so much in the power of their own ideology, they think that they are a hero. It turns out that a lack of self-awareness in leadership is a destructive acid to both the material it corrodes and the container it is in. For a tyrant, the objective they are pursuing is the totalizing force that rules their actions. It is the thing they worship. It's at the top of their personal achievement hierarchy. For the followers of a tyrant, the orders from the tyrannical leader are just a job, with its own vagaries, challenges, and ego-bruising failures. Oh, and by the way, because it's just a job and has no more meaning than that, they're just trying to get to the top of the hierarchy where the tyrant is. And for the victim of the orders executed by the followers, the objective and the orders both come about into reality and create an apocalyptic personal disaster with destruction, death, demonization, and demoralization. It turns out that some disasters are caused by human governments and human systems. So what do you do if you are a tyrant? How do you recognize your own tyrannical nature? Well, getting feedback from people is always a good idea, particularly honest, unvarnished feedback. Reading books, of course, can get you there. But at the end of the day, you have to do the hard work of leaning into yourself, digging in deep, and asking yourself the penultimate question: am I ruling myself well? Is something else ruling me? And what indeed is the difference? And well, that's it for me. Thank you for listening to the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast today. And now that you've made it this far, you should subscribe to the audio version of this show on all the major podcast players, including Apple iTunes, Spotify, YouTube Music, and everywhere else where podcasts are available. There's also a video version of our podcast on our YouTube channel. Like and subscribe to the video version of this podcast on the Leadership Toolbox channel on YouTube. Just search for Leadership Toolbox and hit the subscribe button there on YouTube. And while you're doing that, leave a 5-star review if you like what we're doing here on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Just go below the player and hit 5 stars. We need those reviews to grow, and it's the easiest way to help grow this show. And tell all your friends, of course, in leadership. By the way, if you don't like what we're doing here, well, you can always listen to another leadership show. There are several other good ones out there. At least that's what I've heard. All right. Well, that's it for me.